coffee is a 10 out of 10. I did it. So obviously it's super cloudy, which I expected, but it nearly feels as if I have my head in the clouds, literally. So foggy, but very beautiful walk. Honestly, one of the most beautiful waterfalls I've ever seen. It was magical. Today is a difficult day, very emotional, and I spilled my coffee on my white shirt and on my pants. So I wanted to do a suspension walk, but obviously I arrived, it was closed. So it was just like, I guess, an accumulation of things. That's also part of traveling solo, I guess. And as I kind of did everything last minute, there was not really a plan. So yeah, it's like learning to go with the flow and accepting certain things, and that you're not always hyper, even though I am in an incredible place. And I mean, I'm so grateful to be here, but also like accepting that there are some waves of emotions and that I'm transforming that. And yeah, just trying to find myself something to eat right now and recenter a little bit, and then I can see what I will do this afternoon. I am in Kayama. So for those who don't know where that is, and I didn't know until 2 days ago, it's a super small town close to Jervis Bay, so like a 45-minute drive from Jervis Bay, 2.5 hours south of Sydney. And it is Easter today, so happy Easter. I decided to take myself on a solo trip during the weekend. I had never done this, and as I'm really trying to get used to Australia, as I might, hope so, be based here for the upcoming years, I wanted to discover things on my own, and it's also probably proof that I can trust myself enough and that I have healed in so many ways, as I had never really done a solo trip just with myself for 3 days. So I basically rent a car yesterday. So I'm here in this super clean, super cute Airbnb, and actually Kayama is also a lovely little town. So it is right next to the ocean with stunning views. I didn't really plan anything, so I really wanted to go with the flow and trust my intuition, trust myself. Yesterday I went to Barrie, between Sydney and here. Super cute, took myself a coffee. So I'm not really lucky with the weather. It's fall right now, so it's not gonna be super sunny. So it has been raining yesterday and today. But as I was in Barrie yesterday, I still wanted to go for a hike, or like at least a little view. So I did a like 45-minute up hike, and It was supposed to be incredible views. Obviously, I didn't see anything. All that fog, it was kind of mystical, so I still enjoyed it. I was kind of tired around 4 p.m., so I called my family and stuff for Easter. And I just did some groceries. I made myself some dinner and wind it down. And so now my sister is gonna call tonight. It's been a bit tough today, to be honest. Yesterday I was really in the flow and super excited about everything, and today I was so in my head, and I really struggled being in the flow of my day and letting go of certain events that I couldn't control. So, say the weather or a national park that was closed, and I was basically driving around for 2 hours trying to find a cool spot to stay. But then it started raining as soon as I arrived, so it was like very chaotic. But I didn't want to stay in that energy, so got back here and then do the other side of the shore that I hadn't seen, and it was very beautiful. So tomorrow I am going to Jervis Bay and gonna spend the whole day there. I will give obviously an update on the whole trip, and especially on kind of tools that I'm using in order to ground myself, even though everything is unfamiliar and I am alone, and yeah, I need to handle everything and still enjoy it. I hope that the weather is a bit better. Back in Sydney since 2 days, and I actually wanted to take some time to really reflect on my solo trip. One of my biggest takeaways is that I can allow to trust myself, because I always find solutions. That's the thing, like even if the weather is bad, even if a problem shows up with, say, my car, which didn't happen actually, but it could, or with the Airbnb, or with an activity, like there was a place that was closed when I arrived, and okay, well, we can bounce back and we can find our other things to do, and maybe if it's rainy, fine, I can sit in a cafe and write some thoughts, or I can just talk to some people and enjoy being there, you know. It doesn't have to be as I thought it would be in my head. So I guess that comes with flexibility and acceptance of certain things, and also just letting go of these ideas of it should be perfect, it should be this way. Well, no, if I'm here, if I am enjoying myself, if I'm spending time in nature and trying as much as possible to be present, that's so enough. Like, you don't need to do more. So, and then the second one, which goes a bit with the first one, is that I am actually able to do quote-unquote hard things, which I actually saw a video about it, and I think it is true about the difference between hard and unfamiliar. Because we tend to say, oh, going on a solo trip is hard. Maybe it is hard if you've never experienced it, indeed. But I think that the feeling that we experience is unfamiliarity. These are all new experiences. And so as humans, and maybe as people who tend to be very anxious and very controlling, it can be a trigger and it can be stressful. But these fears are actually just based on limiting beliefs of things that we believed in the past, and showing myself that I can actually rent a car and I can actually rent an Airbnb and go for 3 days alone to Jervis Bay and actually enjoy myself, even with the difficult moments and the emotions and everything. But that unfamiliarity actually just becomes familiar. And I actually saw that example when you first start driving a car. Well, it is unfamiliar, right? You have to learn everything. and you're super concentrated. Now, I don't know, like 10 years later, I can sing in my car. I can, like, you know, I'm not even aware of how I drive. I just know that I get in the car and I go to the place where I want to go. It's just that repetition as well of doing hard things, but they are not hard. It's just a belief in our head that they are hard, but it's just repeating certain actions or certain patterns and proving over and over to ourselves that we can do it and that we can do these hard things. And then in the end, those things are not hard anymore. They are just part of our day-to-day. I think that one of the biggest challenges for me during the trip was being faced with my own fearful and negative thoughts and having a lot of emotions coming up because of these. And in the beginning, I kind of blamed myself for feeling the way I felt. I was like, yeah, I'm away for the weekend. It's really not the moment to be experiencing these emotions. Like, why am I feeling this way? And actually, the more I was fighting to hide my tears, to just like try and be present and concentrate on all the positive, blah, blah, the more I was getting in that spiral and in that lack of presence. And so I knew that at a certain moment I needed to release everything. I need to cry, I need to write it out, I need to chat with my therapist if it's needed, and then things settle again. And I need to write my wins, I need to write what I'm grateful for, and then I can bounce back. The biggest form of regulation is being able to do it ourselves, right? Ideally, we wouldn't need to count on other people in order to regulate ourselves. And I think that I'm getting to that point of knowing my tools and knowing how I can get back to a calm and regulated state without needing to call a friend. Actually, that reassurance is found in us, right? And I think it comes back to showing ourselves that we can do the hard things and that we can regulate and that we can get back to those fun and regulated states. The last one is something that I kind of knew already, but I saw it proven again this time, is that for me, the power of nature, being out there, and the power of sunlight and spending time outdoors is huge. And I am literally filming this right now from my terrace, because from 6 in the morning when I wake up, I really try to look out the window and get some sunlight, and it is proven, right, that it activates your circadian rhythm, and that hearing the birds and hearing the wind, feeling the air is really what we need for our body to regulate and to feel safe and to feel present. This trip was another reminder that I am very lucky to be working here in Sydney, which is surrounded by nature. And for me, it's literally a 5-minute walk and I get to the beach. But I know that not everyone has that privilege. But if you are, say, in a big city, can you even find 10 minutes in your day where you go to a park, you go sit down under a tree, you walk barefoot on the grass, like doing something that gets you in contact with the earth and with the planet? I really do believe that we are nature as well, and that sometimes we tend to forget it with the hectic lifestyle that we are leading. But getting back to my roots is really getting back to nature as well. So that's how I want to finish my reflection on my solo trip. I would really encourage you guys to try it. I think that you gotta be prepared to have some waves and some struggles, and that not every day is gonna be clear sky. But I think that numbing yourself with being busy or being on your phone or, you know, TikTok or all social media, I don't know, is really not helping you in the long term, and that these kind of trips can be very grounding, and they can also reveal parts of us that we just never really learn to listen to. So I want to leave you on that note. I hope that you guys enjoyed my little vlog and solo trip episode. It was a very special experience, and I feel so grateful being here in Australia and being able to do these kind of trips. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope that I get to see you in the next. If you have a certain topic in mind, or if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next. Bye.